I'm going to point this at my fish eating because you don't want to look at my face while I tell you. Well, okay, here's the deal on your pancreatitis of your dog. I have two Shelties, and Charlie got this about 4 years ago, and it was exactly what happened. Uh, Somebody else had said that. I had fed the dog some table scraps and a can that was crappy Old Roy dog food that was high in fat content, and he had a big uh, problem with it. Had to take him to the vet in the middle of the night, and um, he had the same problem that your dog did, and it will really mess them up. But it's fixable by, in my case, every time I'd give him some water because he was just puking up just over and over and over, and just puke up the water. I'm like, man, what's going on? I had to take him to the vet, emergency vet. But he said yes, no water, no nothing, and they IV'd him with a whole bunch of water and said he'll be fine. And if not, in the morning, take him to your vet. Paid $700, and on I went. And sure enough, Charlie was fine the next day. Um, he was just puking up to the point where he was getting dehydrated, and of course he'd go drink more water, then puke it up, and getting rid of bile in his stomach. What happens is the apparently the enzymes or the proteins start to break down in the stomach, but in the esophagus also, and that's where he starts to have problems, or your dog too. So basically, high quality, good dry dog food. Keep away from the fat content, and you should be hopefully okay. Now, obviously, I don't know that much about pancreatitis in dogs, but the vet seemed to know his stuff, and it worked. So, yeah, keep them away from the table scraps, even though they'd love to have a sirloin steak. But that fat content apparently really messes with them. Never had that. I've had dogs all my life. I've never had that problem. And Sugar did not have this problem, and Charlie did. And he was the wild tough one. So just, man, yeah. So hopefully keep them away from the table scraps or the high fat content stuff, and you should be fine. And sorry you didn't get to see the fish eating. They're running around as if, yeah, I guess they don't like me sitting here photographing them. Anyway, hope that helps about your dog and pancreatitis.